What's up and welcome to BiggersWorld City Reviews, and this is going to be Cape Town, South Africa. Woo, one of my faves over in Africa. I really enjoyed Cape Town. So basically, like all my city reviews, I'm kind of just going to go over some of the things I really enjoyed, and yeah, if you are heading there, maybe you can add them to your list. So the first one is when I get into a city, I really like to, check out the inner workings of it, so to speak. So that's where I go on, city tours, walking tours, bike tours, stuff like that. In Cape Town, they have a really cool one called Street Art Walking Tour in Woodstock. Woodstock is a very cool, hip and edgy neighborhood that has really been gentrified over the past, 7, 8, 9, even decade. So it's really cool, and you see some things that are really authentic to South Africa. And there's a lot of people out there working for tips, doing cool dances and stuff like that. So it's really cool to see. And I think it's something you should definitely check out. And it's not very expensive at all. So once you've done that and you've seen there's at least 100 pieces of street art out there. It's really cool. Once you've seen that, then I would head over to the Victoria and Alfred waterfront gate. So you'll know this, it's on the water, and you'll know it because you'll see the huge Ferris wheel. It's a massive Ferris wheel. It's on the water, and it's a really cool spot to go and just really just relax and just kind of take in some. It's kind of cool too because what it does is you go into and you see all the street art over in Woodstock, and then you come over here and you see a totally different part of Cape Town, and you could really you can also tell a big difference in the money and the poverty levels and whatnot. It's very nice on the water, like you would expect, and it's really cool to see the big difference and just see it. But it's just cool to see the different types of different types of environment that you're in, and it's really neat. You'll enjoy it. So I would say street art walking tour, and then go over there and check out the Victoria and Alfred waterfront gate and the big Ferris wheel. So those are the two things that I did first and foremost when I got into Cape Town. Next, it's hiking time. So when you're hiking, depending on what kind of hiker you are, will determine which one of the next ones you're going to do, or if you're going to do both. So I was attempting to do both Table Mountain and Lion's Head. So Table Mountain is definitely a more strenuous type of hike, but you can also do a cable car. However, keep in mind, if you cable car up, that doesn't mean you're cable carring down, because if the wind picks up, they stop the cable car immediately. So you could get up to the top and then have to hike all the way down. So if you're not a big hiker, keep that in mind. But Table Mountain it's gorgeous, and it's a hike that you can do it. If you put your mind to it, you can get it done. But the cable cars aren't always on, and I've seen them stop many times, the few times I've been to Cape Town. So Lion's Head I really like. Lion's Head's an interesting hike, and you need to be careful where you start it. So there's definitely a preferred starting point, and it's pretty obvious. It's on this little back road, and then you see there's a little stand there that has some food and stuff. See all the people and whatnot. I was lucky enough to Uber out, and he dropped me technically on the path, but it was in a neighborhood all the way at the end of this end street with just a little sign that said Lion's Head, but it was not where I was supposed to start. Ended up being on the entire other side of the mountain, and had to do an intense hike upwards and then come all the way around to get to the starting point. It got very confusing. Yeah, I hiked a lot that day, and I did not expect it at all, but I did get to the top, and here are some pictures of the top. It's amazing. As you can see, it's an amazing, amazing view. Lion's Head was very, very well worth it. It's not a super, it's an easier hike than Table Mountain, but Lion's Head's it's not an easy hike. Keep that in mind. I mean, there are some parts of it that are relatively hard. So, but it's great, it's great for pictures. You're going to get some amazing pictures. And as you're coming back down, you can get some other cool pictures. And you can just really see how beautiful Cape Town is. This is a very, very, very beautiful place. So as you get down from these hikes, now you've knocked out the hike. So now you've seen some of the city. You've hiked some of the mountains. Now, what do you do next? Well, next you got to do one of two things, or both, or all three. So next you're gonna probably want to go to Penguin. You want to go to the old Penguin Beach over in Boulder Beach. You're going to want to knock out Cape Point. You know, that's the iconic area where you can get next to the lighthouse. And then shark diving. So these next three, I did all three of them. And I'll talk about each of them right now. So you get to Penguin. Penguin Beach is very, very cool. It's on Boulder Beach. The way you can knock a lot of these out is by just getting a bus. There is a bus that leaves Cape Town every day. You can jump on it, and it'll take you to Boulder Beach, and it'll take you to Cape Point. So I jumped on that bus. It wasn't very expensive. I want to say it was like 50, 60 bucks or something like that. You get down to Boulder Beach. If you didn't pay for it, you'll have to pay for it when you get there. It's not super expensive, but it's really, really cool. You get there, and you get to see all these penguins.
I'm a penguin. I'm a penguin. I'm a really cool penguin.
Penguins are everywhere, and it's really, really cool, really cool. And it was just unique. It was something unique to Cape Town. So then you get back on the bus and you'll head down to Cape Point. You get down to Cape Point and you get this picture. Beautiful, iconic Cape Point, and it was really cool. You know, it was another little hike, but not a big one, and it was cool seeing the lighthouses like this one. And yeah, you get to see a lot of really, really cool things as you're going through, as you're walking through Cape Point. And it's definitely something that I think the bus is a really, really good idea, because if you're trying to drive everywhere, then you're paying the tolls and it can get really a big pain in the butt. So if you're at Cape Town, I would say just grab the bus, go knock out the penguins, knock out Cape Point, and then come on back. Now we get into shark diving, which is obviously one of the biggest things that Cape Town is known for, great white shark diving. As I was there, I had my shark diving expedition canceled 3 times, and finally got one on my last day, and it was amazing. It was exactly what you would think. It was so cool. I'll show you some pictures right here. As you can see, man, the sharks, they're trying to get up in there and stuff like that. Now, the one thing you need to keep in mind with your shark diving expedition is great whites are not guaranteed. That we saw great whites swimming like abroad, but we couldn't get them to come up to the cage. They tried, so we had some other cool sharks that came up, and they were big, as you saw in the pictures. They were big, but great whites aren't guaranteed. I really will want to come again and check it out, and try to really get a great white next time. Be cool. Another cool thing is you get to see Seal Island. Seal Island is exactly what you would expect it. It's a giant island of seals. Really, really, really cool. And yeah, so you get to knock out all these cool things. And you can do them all in just a few days. But I would say if you're in Cape Town, you want to give yourself at least a week, because like I said, a lot of expeditions do get canceled because of weather. You never know exactly how it's going to go when you're traveling. So a week is a good time frame in Cape Town. And yeah, like I said, one other cool thing I got to do, I got to feed, I believe, a giant seagull bird right here. Something cool that the guy, the fisherman, let me try, because he was a little mad that we couldn't get the great whites to come over to the boat. But hey, stuff happens. it was an amazing experience. I really, really loved Cape Town. And like I said, you know, street art, the Victoria and Alfred Waterfront, the Table Mountain, the Lion's Head, penguins, shark diving, and Cape Point, all amazing things. And the last thing I would say, because I always like to give you a bonus one, would be the District 6 Museum. Now, the District 6 Museum is an amazing museum. However, it's, you know, you're going to have some weird emotions because it's a museum where the nationalist government in the 70s forcibly removed over 60,000 of the residents. And you'll see, but it's got some really good pictures and gives you some really good information about it all. It's definitely a bit of an emotional roller coaster, but it's also great to see how much better Cape Town has gotten since the 70s. And I really thought Cape Town was very, very diverse. It was a very cool city. It is said to be the most dangerous town or city in South Africa. However, the way it is with the mountains and stuff, the danger part is on this other side of the mountain. It's not near all this other stuff. So don't let that affect your decision of going to Cape Town. I was there for about a week and I loved it. Every bit of it, and I'll go back for sure. I think Cape Town is an absolute, you know, top 25 city in the world that I've been to. It's amazing, amazing, amazing. So check out Cape Town if you get a chance. And next I'm going to go into a video about Johannesburg and how I got from Johannesburg down to Cape Town on a 28-hour train. It's going to be a good one. So stay tuned for that next video. And remember to subscribe and support the channel. I appreciate it, everyone.